Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to Technical Router. In the previous class, we have started with an inheritance concept, right? On those concepts, we have done with 3 to 4 examples. Let's continue some more example based on those topic. I already told you that the inheritance means that acquiring the properties of a parent class from the child class directly. And we are using an extend keywords, which is a predefined class to acquire the properties of the parent class from the child class. Okay, let me take one class. I'm taking an class A, which having an variable. I'm taking an double D is equals to, and I'm taking string A is equals to Java. Okay. This is a parent class which is having an two variables of and different data types. Okay. Now let me take an one more class P class which extends an properties of A class. Now this class is having data D is equals to 20 and character I'm taking as a D. Take having one more method, taking one more method. What? Let's print this data. Okay, let's print this whatever which are the variables is there in the class B and the class A. All that variable, let's print it down now. Okay, the same variable name it is there in the A class also and also in the B class, right? The same variable name is there. On that time in Java, the JVM get confused and it will print only an B class data, right? And it won't print only in child class data. It does not print the A class data. On those cases, we are going to use this keyword. This keyword means it is going to access the instance members, right? Instance members of the current class. These are the instance variables. These are the instance with these two were the instance variables. Instance variables means which are outside the method without any static keyword. These are the instance variables. To access this instance members, we are going to use this keyword. In the when I am explaining about the constructors, on that time I told you that we are going to use this keyword to access the instance members. So to access the instance member within the same class, okay? The instance member within the same class, not the outside of the class, within the same class. For that, we are going to use this keyword, this dot ch. Now to acquire the data from the other class, to acquire data from the parent class, right? To acquire data from the parent class, we are going to use one more keyword as a super keyword, okay? We are going to use a super keyword. By using an super keyword, we are going to access the parent class data. Super dot D. Same within the same class means on that time we are going to use this keyword outside of the parent within the parent class means on that time we are going to use a super keyword. Okay. Super dot A. The main method, let's say create an object for a child class. BB is equals to. When we call that by using an object reference dot, whatever the method is there in the child class. Guys, listen it clearly. When we have an same variable name both in the parent class and the child class, if you am going to print it down the data, that means and print of D means it is going to print only the child class data, not will not print any parent class data. On that time to get and both child class and the parent class data, we are going to use this dot super keywords. This keyword is used to access the variables or the data which is there in the same class instance member. The instance which is there in the same class, on that time we are going to use this keyword which is there in the same class. The data which is there in the parent class means on that time we are going to use a super keyword. Okay. That time we're going to use a super keyword. This dot d means the data which is there in the same class, on that data is going to print 20. Okay, ch means this dot ch means d. This dot super dot d means the data which is there in the parent class. Super means parent class data. It is going to print 3.14. Super dot a means Java. So in this way only I'm going to get the output out. See now. See 20 D3.14 Java. In the same way which are the written, in the same way we are going to use. Let me write it down. Super keyword about it is used to whether this keyword it is used to access the instance members of the current class of the same class. This super keyword is used to access the instance members of the other class from the child class. Okay, it is used to access the immediate class, that means an upper class. Okay, upper class, whichever the data is there in on the upper class of the B class, on that data we are going to access in the from the child class by using a super keyword. Okay, super keyword. It is a predefined keyword. It is a predefined keyword. It is used to access immediate class instance members. Immediate class instance members from the child class. We are going to create an object for an instance members, not for an static members, right? We are going to create an object for only an instance members. On those instance members, in the inheritance, we are going to use an this and super keywords to access and um, data from the parent class. We are going to use an super keyword. Okay. This is a definition of what is about a super keyword. Okay. Let's write one more two examples based on this and super keyword. Okay. This is one example. Clearly understand it. This means it is used to access the instance members of the current class. Instance members, these are the instance members of the current class in the same class. This super class is used to access the immediate class. Immediate class means whichever the class is there, this class, upper class of that class. Okay, upper class of that class data instance members from the child class. It is used to access the immediate class instance members from the child class. Okay, let's write some more example on this. I'm going to take one more class, the test class with a main method. Okay, let me take one class D. It is having an int x is equals to 100. Okay, let me take one more class, the class C, which extends the features of D class. Okay, the class D is extending features of D class. Now it is also having one variable int y is equals to 20. Let me have one more class E, which extends the features of the C class. Okay, this class features it is going to extend. Okay, and that class int z is equals to 10. This class is having a public void f2 method. It is having an f2 method. Now see, to print and same class data instance members of the current class means we are going to use this keyword, this dot z. Okay, to print the instance members from the other class. Okay, other class data from the child class means we are going to use a super keyword. Immediate class instance members. Immediate means upper class. This is an upper class. E class upper class is a C class. C class upper class is a D class. Okay. Super dot y. Now super dot to print an x means super dot x. The main method. Let's create an object for a child class. whichever data is there in here, that class data I'm going to print. All these data is present in this class. Okay. E is equals to object reference dot f2 method in this method. Okay, the method is there in the E class. So this dot z means I'm going to get an output as a 10. This dot y means the super class, super data. That means an immediate class instance members data. Y means 20. X means 100. In this way only I'm going to get the output. See now. See, 10, 20, 100. In that way only I got the output, right? Same way I'm going to get the output. Now, see, this class D is having an x is equals to 100, okay? And this class C is having an x is equals to, let's think an x is equals to 20, and let's it have some more method. Public void m method. Sorry, wait. And this x is also, this is an x, okay? See, all these classes is having a same variable name x. All this is having a same variable name x. On that time, if I'm going to print only as system.order println of x means it is going to print only and this x value 10. How many times I'm going to print it? Only that data it is going to print. Okay. For that kind of reasons, see here, if we have an same variables names in this class also, in this class also, here we are going to print it down once again, and here also we're going to print it down. Okay, let's print now here. Let me take one method just. Okay, here to access and this data in this class, I'm using an super dot x. Okay, super dot x means immediate class instance member. If I'm using here immediate class instance members means only this data will get. I won't be getting this data, right? I won't be getting this. For example, see. Now let's print here. Let's print x value. This dot x means it is going to print it down. This x value x is equals to 10. Okay. Now if I'm going to print now, super dot x means only the upper class of the E class, that data it is going to print only 20. If I'm going to print once again super.x means it is going to print this one only. It does not print this value, okay? It does not print this value. It always be printing this value only. This 10x value is equal to 20 only. It will be always printing. For that, if you are going to print it, I'm going to print here super.x means I'm going to access this data. Upper class data, right? Upper class data. I'm going to print it down now. I'm going to one more method, public void m2. And that method I'm going to print it. Super.x. Now it is going to access this data. 100. Okay. This is way, in these ways we are going to print it down. Let's see now. See, I got the output of 10 and 20. These things I got the output of 10 and 20. If I want to get the output of this x is equals to 100 means I want to call that method. M2 method, I have to call that method. Okay. M2 method, I have to call. No. Extend E class means wait. We have to create an object. Instead of creating an object in this class, Sorry. Within the method, we have to call outside of the, not in the outside of the method. To access, I printed data, right? On that time, I got these two outputs. If I want to get an x is equals to 100 means I have to call that method, which in this method. Okay, don't need to create output again and again. See, I got the output of that x is equals to 100 also. Okay. In these ways, we are going to use this on super keyword. Super keyword is used to access an immediate class, upper class. Only the upper class, not the upper class. It does not access that. Only the above upper class only data will be accessed. Okay. If they have an other variables name, so it is going to access upper class data also. If we have a same variables name or same method name means on that time it does not access the above upper class, only the just the immediate data, only upper class only data only it will be accessed, not the data of the upper class. It does not be accessed. Okay, it does not going to access, only the upper class data it is going to access. These some of examples. Let's see in the types of the inheritances. Types of inheritance. Let's see what are the types of inheritance. The first is a single level inheritance. There are six types of inheritance. The first is a single level inheritance. The first is a single level inheritance. Let me write off everything. Second is a multi-level inheritance. The third is an hierarchical inheritance. It's inheritance. And the fourth is a multiple inheritance. And the fifth is an hybrid inheritance. And the sixth is a cyclic inheritance. These are the types of inheritances in Java. Okay, the first is a single level, second is a multi-level, hierarchical, multiple, hybrid, cyclic. These are the six types of inheritances in Java. Let's see each of them. Okay, let's see the first one. The first one is a single level inheritance. The first is a single level inheritance. We are going to inherit data only from the one class to other class. Okay, only from the one class to other class. For example, only I'm taking an class A. Only one class is going to inheritance. Class A is one class and class B extends class A. This is only a single level inheritance. Only and B class is extending only features of A class. Only it is extending only the one class level of inheritance. Okay, single level of inheritance. Reason for example, here is an A class. This is an B class. A class. This is an B class. Only one class is inheriting, right? Single level. This is a single level of inheritance. The second one is a multi-level inheritance. Inheriting of one class from other class, one class from other class. Okay. For example, let's see now how means here is one A class, B class is extending the properties of A class. Okay. And the one more class is that this is an C class. It is an A class. This is an B class. This is an C class. Okay. The B class is inheriting the properties of an A class. Okay. Extending the properties. A is inheriting the B is inheriting the C, but A class is extending the properties, sorry, B class is extending the properties of A class, and then C class is extending the properties of B class. There are two levels of inheritance, two level of inheritance is happening. Okay. This is only a multi-level inheritance. For example, now the class A. Okay, now next one more class, which is an B class, which is extending the properties of an A class. Now there is one more class, in class C, which extends the features of B class. This is only a multi-level inheritance, two classes, right? Single level means only in one class is inheritance. Here is a multi-level. It can have one more, right? It can have one more, it can have one more. This is only a multi-level inheritance. Second one. The third one is an hierarchical inheritance. The third one is a hierarchical inheritance. That means here is one class. Here is one class. This is an A class. This is an B class. This is an C class. Both B and C class were extending the features of an A class. This is only an hierarchical inheritance. Okay. Both the classes, this A is having an two childs, B and C. Both the A and B and C is having an same features of an A class. Okay. This is only an hierarchical inheritance. Class A. Now class B extends features of A class, and one more class is there. The class C is also extends features of A class only. Okay. In these cases, for these both class B and class C, for both the classes, we have to create an object, right? We are going to create an object for the child class. In this, there are two childs, B and C. Both are the child of the A class, right? Both were the child of the A class, so we have to create an object for an B class also, C class also. Okay, we have to create an object for B class also, C class also, because both of them were a child of the A class. This is an hierarchical inheritance. The A class is providing their properties to the B class and C class, having a two childs B and C. B and C were acquiring the properties of the A class. Okay, this is an single level, multi-level, and hierarchical inheritance. Next, the fourth one is an multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance. The Java does not support this multiple inheritance. Okay, the Java does not support this. This is how means here is one class, also one class. Hierarchical means one parent, two childs. But here, two parents, one child means how it is possible? A, B. Here is one more class. Class C. The C class is acquiring the properties of an A class also, and is going to acquire a properties of A class and also an B class properties also. It does not supported by the Java. Java does not support this multiple inheritance. One child is acquiring the properties of and two parents means that it is not supported. Okay, inheritance is a classlet. It does not be supported. Not on that point. Java does not support multiple inheritance. Okay, it does not support a multiple inheritance. This multiple inheritance is supported at the interface level. And after the last topic is an interface, and that time it is going to support the multiple inheritance. For example, how means, I'll explain here. Now, let's think have taking one class K. Okay, it is having an public void having of a long data type. Okay, long validity storing. This is one class. Let me take one more class L. Public void same method, different parameter. Okay, now that means that here see the child class C is extending the properties of A and B. Here also one more class I'm taking. The class M extends the properties of K comma L. It is not supported. This is not possible. Okay, this is not possible in the inheritance. And one more thing, if I'm going to access M of 10, if I'm going to access an M of 10 means on that time the JVM get confused. Okay, JVM get confused which data I have to access. Either I have to access an M of 10 means it can come and floating or a long also. On that time the JVM get confused which data I have to access, whether the float or the L data or the K data or the long data I have to access, or the float data I have to access. On this is called as an functional ambiguity, because the two methods is having a same signature, right? The two methods is having a same signature, then there is a functional ambiguity, because the JVM get confused and it is get confused which data I have to print, whether they have to print an M of float value or an M of long value. It get confused in this and does not it get confused. So this problem is called as a functional ambiguity. This is not possible. Okay, this is not possible in the multiple inheritance in the Java. There is a functional ambiguity. Functional ambiguity problem. Functional ambiguity problem means, I had to explain that if two methods has same signature, then there is a functional ambiguity. Okay, on that time the JVM get confused. Because the JVM get confused which data I had to print. JVM get confused because which data I had to print, whether I have to take an M of floating point value or the long, it has taken this has an float or a long value. So it get confused and it does not print anything. So there is a problem called as a functional ambiguity problem, and multiple inheritance is does not supported in the Java. This is a fourth one, and one more is there. Now it is a hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance. Hybrid means a combination of two inheritance, right? The combination of two inheritance. Hybrid inheritance is satisfying for a single and hierarchical, but it is not for an satisfied for an hierarchical and a multiple. It is for a single and hierarchical. Okay. Single means here is one class. This is a single inheritance. It is also supported for an hierarchical combination of two. Here is a class A. Here is class B. Class C. Class D. Okay, this is a single inheritance. From year to year, it is a single inheritance. From year to year, it is an hierarchical inheritance, right? It is a single, and this is an hierarchical. This is an hierarchical. This is possible for an hybrid inheritance, but it is not possible for an multiple and an hierarchical and an multiple. That means hierarchical means one parent, two childs, right? Multiple means two parent, one child. Here is a diamond problem. In the hierarchical, there is a diamond problem. This is an class A. This is an class B. And this is an class C. And this is an class D. Right? From year to year, it is an hierarchical inheritance. From after year to year, it is an multiple inheritance. There is forming a diamond shape problem is formed. Okay, there is a diamond shape problem. The hybrid inheritance, it is not possible due to the hybrid problem. Okay, diamond shape problem. It is not possible due to the diamond problem. Diamond problem means Diamond problem is happening in the hybrid inheritance. That means then when both hierarchical and multiple inheritance are combined, then they form a diamond shape problem. That is not possible in the Java. Okay. When both hierarchical and multiple inheritance combined, then there is an then form an diamond problem. Then they form a diamond problem. This is a diamond problem in the hierarchical inheritance. The hybrid inheritance is possible for a single and hierarchical inheritance, but it is not possible for an hybrid and an hierarchical and an multiple inheritance. Okay, this is not possible because of the diamond shape problem. Then the last inheritance is a cyclic inheritance. I'll write here only cyclic inheritance. The last one is a cyclic inheritance. That means a self-inheritant. Okay, that means a self-inheriting. Now here it is in one class. This is an A class which inheriting the that class only, which is inheriting the same class only. It is going to inherit. The A class is going to inherit same class only. Means in this way. Now here is a class A. Okay, now I'm going to take in one more class which extends that class only. Okay, this is a cyclic inheritance. The self-inheriting, the same class inheriting of the same class only is called as a cyclic inheritance. The hybrid inheritance means a combination of a two inheritance. The multiple inheritance, it is not possible because that two parents is there, one child is there, one child that can't be accessing of the two parent properties because they form an functional ambiguity problem will be formed because of the whether the same features will be there in the A and B. Both the features will come for an C also. So on that time it will get confused. See in the code I explained. On that time the J will get confused. Okay, this is not possible in the Java for a multiple inheritance. And more the single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and then hierarchical inheritance. This is about the inheritance in the Java. Okay, they're about the inheritance in the Java. I'm going to end here. Let's continue tomorrow. Let's you practice some more problems on the inheritance also. I explained about today about the this and super keyword. You do some more problems, practice on that, and do some more problems on that also. Okay. Thank you guys.